Hello, and welcome to the Notary Life with Kimmi Podcast. I am also one of the trainers with Notary Educators, which includes myself, Kimberly Nunnally, Angela Johnson, and Alexis Franklin. We each own our own very successful notary businesses and teach notaries in all 50 states to be great and grow their own business. We will discuss general notary work, apostilles, ink fingerprinting, and the duties of a notary signing agent, and much, much more. For all of your notary needs, please visit notaryeducatorsllc.com. We hope you enjoy the show, and we wish you much success. Hello, and welcome to Notary Life with Kimmi. I am here with Angela and Alexis, and I'll let them introduce themselves right quick.
Hey everybody, it's Alexis with Mobile Notary Services by Alexis.
Hi guys, it's Angela with AJ Mobile Notary. I hope you had a great day.
Hey, so tonight's topic, guys, is hot and on fire. So we'll give people a few minutes to get on. We didn't talk about a story. Did anybody have a story today?
I had one today.
Go ahead, and then I'm gonna tell you mine. I want to know what y'all would have did.
It's not that exciting, but how do you guys feel if so? I had a loan signing today, and originally it was for 5:00. Called the lady on Friday, made arrangements, confirmed it, and she calls me back at 3:00 and says, "Oh, nobody's gonna be home. Can you come at 8?" I said, "No, ma'am, I can't come at 8."
That's a big difference.
And so she was like, "Well, let me call my daughter." I said, because she works in Duluth. I said, "Well, I tell you what," because she said, "I won't be home." I said, "If you get off at 5, because they had scheduled it for 5. I said, "If you get off at 5, I can meet you in Duluth if the other parties can meet you in Duluth, and that way we can get it signed." So she was like, "Let me call my daughter and see what we can do." She never called me back. So it's 4:00. And so I called her at 4:00. I left her a message because she didn't answer the phone. And so she finally answered the phone. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to call you." How you going to forget to call me when you're supposed to be making arrangements?
Exactly.
But anyway, so she was like, I finally told her, I said, "You know what? It was literally right down the street, like less than 10 minutes away." I said, "I can squeeze you in at 7:00. If everybody's going to be there at 7, I'll squeeze you in because I said I have another appointment at 8 because I knew I had to be here." So I get there. You think they ready? No. Upstairs. So the mother was ready, daughter upstairs. She got to sign her witness upstairs. And so she said, "Go get, her from upstairs." It took her like 10 minutes to come from upstairs. I'm like, first of all, you didn't keep your appointment. Second, I'm coming out of my way. And you still not. I texted them and said I was on my way. I would be there at 7. Got there like at 6:58.
And still
not down. So anyway, I waited patiently.
Did you charge extra?
It was a company signing, so I couldn't charge extra.
Okay. I was just wondering. So let me tell you about mine really quick. Again, nothing too exciting. I just want to know, what would you do? So my documents were from Jamaica. The lady was doing her grandfather had all this property over there, and he never actually got it registered. So that's what she was doing. So she said in Jamaica a lot of times, when older people had property, they didn't have documents like we have over here today, like the deed and all that. So she's trying to get it ready in case something happens to her. Part of a trust, she could leave it to her children. So she said like the property line might be like, they might say it's from this tree to this tree. And the tree could be moved or fall down or anything, right? So anyway, on the document, though, they did not want the date. So this was a repeat, actually. She's a repeat client, and this was a repeat signing. So she did not want me to write the date on the document where I notarized it. And I didn't look. Is the date a requirement?
On the signature, the signature date is what's important.
The signature. So a date should be by the signature.
Well, what you said, don't add and don't take away. So Sometimes a person's signature may be there and doesn't call for a date. Like there's no line that says date. And sometimes it is. Because in that instance, the date is the notary signature date.
Now that's the other piece of the puzzle. Does the notary have to put the date?
Oh, so you're saying there was no date nowhere, not even the notary signature block.
Correct. Because she said by the time they file it over there, it could be any date, and the date is what's throwing it, the reason.
But the signature is what's important. The signature date is when the notary actually notarized it.
Okay, but I felt it should have some kind of date on it. But I mean, sometimes I do loan signings and they don't have a date either. So they say don't do the deed or don't do this. But I mean, my signature is the notary also, that he did not want it. He did not want a date by that.
But when it comes to loan signing, like it may not be a date for the notary, but there's a date at some point by the signer's name.
Somewhere. So that was a kind of tricky one because, again, the document was being filed over in Jamaica. So I told her, I said, look, don't be calling me because I ain't coming over to Jamaica to solve no problem. So I don't know. It was just a hot mess. So anyway, that's it. All right. Well, let's get into tonight's topic, guys, because we got 52 people, 54. It is so nice to have everybody here. Thanks for joining us tonight. Everyone, welcome. And also those who will join us on the replay. So tonight's topic is, are you a work notary or a boss notary? Now, I got some notes over here, so y'all feel free to jump in, okay? I'll do one by one. So the first one, hey, welcome to everybody, your first timers who are with us tonight. So are you a work notary or a boss notary? So a work notary, typically the company pays for you to get your stamp. So they think they own you. But if you're a boss notary, then you have bought your own stamp, your own supplies and everything. And most work notaries do not use their notary stamp out of the office. So what's your thoughts on that first piece, that the company owns you when they buy your stamp? Because I've heard a lot of notaries say that they feel like the company think they bought it, so they bought you basically too.
Yeah, I mean, based off the feedback that I've gotten from our clients, yes, that's exactly how it seems. When they get that stamp, it's for the company almost. When we all know it, it's given to that person individually, and they take it with them. But if they pay for it, I guess they're like, hey,
they own you.
Yeah, you're gonna do what I tell you to do, and
that's not exactly true. Angela, what's your thoughts on that? Yeah,
that is not true. They don't own the stamp because, first of all, your commission is under your name, and we all know that Secretary of State or the Notary Commission says that you're responsible for it. You own the stamp. That's like them telling you, even though they bought it, they can't even tell you not to notarize documents for someone else outside of work. It's your stamp. You own the stamp. They can't tell you can't start a business with that stamp outside of work.
Correct. I have heard people say that too.
Even, and this is very important, even to the point where if you have to notarize documents at work, they can't tell you how to do it. Though sometimes they may want you to notarize something for somebody with no idea, whatever. You should not do that because there are notary laws and notary commission laws. And so really, as I'm talking and think about it, if they do that and fire you, it's like you can sue them because they tried to make you break the notary laws. So the commission does not belong to them. The commission belongs to you.
Exactly. And just because they bought it, they don't even own you. How about that? They ain't stamped your body. They just purchased it. So I see somebody in the chat saying that they didn't even know companies would do that. Yes, companies will pay for you to become a notary. So that's the question. Oh,
I never paid for my notary when I was working. For 30 years, I never paid for my notary.
I did not either. My company's always paid for it. And again, they'll just shove documents in front of you, which we're coming to that one. So number 2 is they just tell you to stamp, and you don't even know why. That's a person that works as a notary, but a notary boss, the difference is you learn the business, why you're stamping. So what do you guys think about that? Because at work, they just shove papers in front of you. Stamp this. You don't know what you're stamping. Everybody, not everybody, but 90% of people that take our training say, oh, I didn't even know I had to put somebody under oath. What's that?
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts on that they just shove paperwork in front of you? I know, Alexis, you get a lot of calls about people, because we've had this conversation before, work notary versus boss notary. Let's hear about it.
It's kind of unfortunate because when they get to us and they're trying to create a business off of this, they have to really relearn everything in a sense. And some people come to me, they feel confident, like, oh, I know what I'm doing. And then I start asking questions. Do you know this? Do you know that? Do you know the Georgia handbook? And they're like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, Georgia has a notary handbook.
Right.
Yeah. Oath and jurat go together. This is an acknowledgement, etc. So, Yeah, they just literally shove papers in front of people and have them stamp them. And people don't know any better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know, how can we change or how can we use the information if we don't know it?
Right. I had when that attorney had called me to do an affidavit for a notarization I had done, I went to the office and the girl just had me sign it. She signed and I'm looking at her. I'm like, you're not going to put me under oath? And she looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, see, the paper says sworn and subscribed. And she said, it'll be okay. I said, okay, if they call me to court, I'm going to say you didn't put me under oath. So work notaries really don't know what they're doing because my loan signing this evening was a correction from somebody who messed up that was a work notary. The girl said they sent it back because they said the notary messed up. I said, where did you get your notary? She said, a friend did my notary for me. So that's a work notary.
And I also am getting ready to put out a video either this week or next week, guys. Watch for it. It's entitled "A Notary Messed Up My Documents," and that she was a work notary. So I talked about this somewhere recently, but anyway, it might have been last week. I don't know. But anyway, I did a whole video on it because she messed up my documents, which was an apostille document. So because of that, needless to say, it didn't happen. So even though you're not a notary and you don't have to be one to do apostilles, you kind of do need to know some of the process because if it's not notarized correctly, it's going to be rejected. So we'll talk about that in my video. Number 3. I want to talk about the journal too. Because when I was a notary, they kept the journal. I didn't keep the journal. What about that?
I actually seen that when I went to go get a document notarized at UPS. They fill out that journal. It's a store log. They don't take that home. It's definitely, they sign off on it and everything, but that's not theirs to keep. That's for UPS's records.
I never thought about that even when I was a notary. That's not my record. That's their record. So,
but when I worked for the law firm, I kept my own records.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but see, so if you think about it, I kind of understand why UPS keeps the records. But on the other hand, if you live in California, I used to be a California notary. When you finish with your California commission and you're not a notary, you're supposed to turn those records in.
That makes
or
sense.
If they call you 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road and say, what about this notarization? You don't have the record. So that's kind of so my work didn't keep my log. I kept my own notary journal.
Interesting, because I've never heard of anyone keeping their own log.
It seemed like it should be both, right? Like the job should have one, but the individually notary should as well.
Correct. I totally agree with that. I totally agree.
I never thought about it though.
The NNA actually has a whole video about, they don't call it a work notary or boss notary, but they have a video about how to protect yourself while working. So if you're really interested in this and you are a work notary, check it out because there may be things that your company may be asking you to do that you should not simply be doing. Like Angela said, you own the commission. That's your name, not Bank of America, not SunTrust or Truist or whoever. Your name is on that commission. If something go wrong, it's on you. Let's go to number 3. I have 4 points tonight. Number 3 is a work notary notarizes for free.
Yeah.
A boss notary knows how to charge and make their money. What's your thoughts on that? Because a lot of people, like we already have talked about, they don't even know they can use their commission outside. I did have a young lady I did a coaching corner with recently. And she said that because she worked for the county, they forbidded them to notarize outside of work. So if your company straight up says that in some kind of law and you want to continue to work there, then you can't notarize outside of work. But if they can't do that, well, perhaps it might be a conflict of interest. I don't know, but I'm just telling you what she said. She said they could not. So we're going to go with what she said because she didn't want to work there. It was her job, right? So we're not telling you to go against the company policy. However, if they're not telling you that you cannot, so are you a boss notary or a work notary? Are you doing it for free or are you using that stamp to make some money?
So they told her she could not use it outside of work?
That is correct.
And it was the county.
The county. Well, so I don't know what that was all about. I really don't, because I tried to dig a little bit, but we only had so many minutes in the coaching session, so I didn't want to use it all talking about that.
Well,
but
they told her that, but they can't. A company can't tell you not to use your notary stamp.
Okay, so you might need to do a little bit of homework on that too. So push back. If you know who owns the stamp, can they really tell you what to do? Is it a bylaw? Is it not? So again, work notaries, they do it for free. Boss notaries, we make money with our stamp. So, and you need to know how to charge. You need to know how to charge. So just because you have a stamp and you go out and you don't know how to charge, that doesn't mean you're going to make money. You must have the knowledge, and that's a gift and a skill to know how to actually charge properly. Because we get a lot of people all day long, I don't know how to charge. I don't know how to charge. If you don't know how to charge, you will not have a business. That's just flat out. You're going to be doing it for $2. You're going to be doing it for free. You're going to be doing it for $5, $1, whatever your state says. And you need to know what your handbook says first, always. But after that, you need to learn how to charge. So we want to be a boss notary and learn the skill of pricing. Now, Angela and Alexis are a lot better at that than I am. So let's talk about it, Alexis.
So when it comes to pricing, I actually had a situation. I had a client. I did an apostille for him not too long ago. And excuse me. He called back and wanted just one document notarized. So I told him it'll be X, Y, and Z amount, and I'm coming to him. And he was like, oh, for one notarization? I was like, yes. I mean, I have to drive to you. And guess what? Even if he was a client of mine, I told him, I was like, UPS notarizes, you know, if you wanted to go to UPS. He was like, okay, I'll go to them. And that was that. But I have to know my prices, right? And that's what a lot of people, what are you going to pull out your driveway for? And that was my minimum, and he didn't want to pay it, which was fine with me. Hey.
Yeah. And I'm quick to refer people to UPS and their bank also. Matter of fact, one lady called me last week and she says, I told her the price. Matter of fact, I didn't even tell her the price because I could hear in her voice she was cheap. I already knew it. I didn't even tell her the price. Now that I think about it, I said, well, had you checked with your bank first? Now I'm giving away money. But I said, had you checked with your bank first? And she was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I said, well, check with them first. I'm kind of more specialty, you know, after hours, weekends, if it's something they can't do. Because I'm already setting the bar for her, letting her know I'm not a $2 notary. Okay. Right. Angela, you want to add to the pricing thing? I know you do.
I mean, my price is my price. I had a guy come by today. I had done 2 apostilles for him last week, and he came back today, and I did give him a nice discount. And so he was like, I really appreciate you doing this for me. He's getting married overseas. And his wife fiance is from overseas. And he's like, I really appreciate you doing this for me. And he's like, this is not referring to you, but these apostilles are expensive. Yes. And he said, but I got to get it done. So that's all he said. So, I mean, my customers, my regular customers, I give them discounts, but everybody else, my price is my price.
And it's funny you said that because I had an apostille when I was telling you another notary messed up the notarization piece. Mm-hmm. And I went to the person's office to pick it up, looked at it, wasn't right, whatever. And I wasted that trip, right? Then I had to go back again, of course, to take it to her or whatever. I did express that day. I even took it to Atlanta the same day we finally did get it correct. I took it down there, brought it back the same day. She was so appreciative. She gave me a tip. And I was like, you know, because at first I was like, I should have charged her for that. But I usually try to leave a little room for them to tip. I mean, I really just get my price up front. That way, if they don't, whatever. And but she actually did tip me, so I was pleased by that. And I had one more good thing to report about money, guys, is that I actually charged several clients last week for Jeffrey serving as the witness.
Can't believe it.
Yes, I did. That's yes, amazing. I did. Now, one of them I charged $25 and one of them I charged $15. And fortunately, I charged that $25 one because he actually could not make it with me. So I had to hire someone. So that's another reason why sometimes I might go ahead and start getting that fee, because just in case Jeffrey can't go, I've priced it with him being free. Right. And I got to turn around and come back to the client and say, oh, my husband couldn't do it. Now you would need to pay for it. You know, just get it up front and include that service, you know? Okay. And my last one that I have, guys, the difference between a work notary. For those of you just joining us, we're talking about the difference between a work notary and a boss notary. Okay. If you missed it, go back and rewatch it. But number 4 is a work notary. They don't really care what they stamping. They just stamp. A boss notary knows their notary laws and they are concerned with what they stamp. Mm-hmm. We kind of already talked about that a little bit, but if you're a boss notary, you need to know your handbook, like the back of your hand. What does it say? And if you don't know it, it's okay. Right. But it needs to be in the front of your bag, either digitally on your phone, hard copy, whatever, but you need to have that book in your possession at all times, because you never know what question is going to come up. So that's the difference between a work notary, just stamp. But a boss notary has to double check, because if it's not right, it's their commission on the line. Well, either way, it's really your commission. But if you're running your own business and your whole everything is based on, if you lose your commission, it's pretty serious. Ladies?
No, I agree. You have to know what you're stamping. So just like I said, based off of speaking to a lot of different people, multiple people, some of the verbiage on the documents is similar, because, you know, if you work in one area or one specialty, the documents pretty much are kind of similar over and over again. And it's repetitive, right? It's easy. But then when you get out into the real world and you have all this different verbiage and all this different lingo, you don't know what to fill out, where to fill it out. I actually had a notary, when I went to go get something done at UPS one time, ask me what goes here. Thankfully, I am a notary, so I knew what to tell her. But what if I wasn't? You could have messed my document up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, you got to know.
You're not just a notary either. You're a boss notary. Because
right.
a regular notary may not have even known what to put there. They like, your guess is good as mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You could have been a Facebook notary and said, "Oh, let me put it in Facebook and let somebody tell me what's supposed to go."
What did you just call it? A Facebook notary?
Are you a Facebook notary? And nothing wrong with Facebook notaries, guys. But we say that because you cannot learn how to be a notary in Facebook. Okay?
Right.
You cannot. We see people trying to put documents in there all day long. And I'm thinking to myself, you need training.
Mm-hmm.
That's a training question. That's not just a one-off like, wow, what is this?
Right.
If you don't know what to put where it says state, that's a training problem.
And people's documents are very important. So you have to realize that's why they have to be notarized. Because, they are very important. And I was thinking about when you guys were talking that I did this joint venture agreement yesterday with like 4 people. And so it was interesting because a notary can't practice law, but you need to tell them, you need to initial here. You need to put, you need to, if the document is blank, you need to make sure that they are putting where they're supposed to be putting, whatever. You can't just skip it and just notarize and be gone. You have to look through the document to make sure there are no blank spaces. And some spaces are going to be blank. So you have to know, a boss notary knows where to leave it alone because that blank space is okay. And you need to fill that out. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so because I knew what I was doing and the guy was impressed, he said, we have these joint venture agreements all the time. He said, give me a bunch of cards so I can give my partners your card.
What? So he could tell that you were an expert in what you were doing. So when we talk about the need to know how to stamp your documents, it's pretty serious, guys. So that might be our next topic. Are you a Facebook notary? Because people are going crazy in the comments.
They are going crazy in the Facebook comments. Donna said,
next week we're going to talk about that. Are you a Facebook notary?
Right. Donna said, oh, no, she did not say. No, she said Facebook.
Oh, yes, I did. We're going to talk about it all next Monday, y'all. Okay. So let's, anything else you guys want to add? And we'll start taking some of the people's comments.
But I just want to say that if you're a boss notary, your notary business is going to flourish anyway. Because people are going to, I had a girl call me back today. I had no idea what she was calling me like I knew her. But she did know me because she's like, oh, I've used you before. So I was calling to see if I could come at 1:00, waiting for this and da. And I said, well, do you need to add? She said, I know where it is. So that's a boss notary. People already know where you are. They just call you and talk to you like they know you because they used you before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And I just want to
go ahead, Alexis. No.
I was just gonna say, nothing's wrong with being, a work notary, right? But I wish
it is something wrong with it.
Let me
go ahead. I just want to say that.
Let me finish. Nothing's wrong with it, but I wish companies would just take that little extra effort and kind of take it a little more serious in the sense that, I'm giving you this money to obtain your certificate, but you need to also have that handbook. You know what I mean? You need to also know what you're doing. I wish they just took it a little more serious. I feel like then people would be a lot better off when they do want to turn it into a business. But that was a little.
I love that. And the companies don't know themselves, so they don't know to even have that expectation. That's true. Yeah, that's true. All right, Angela, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, I was just going to say when Alexis was saying that, it made me think about if the companies don't know, but you have your notary because you purchase, you know it's important to have a notary in your office. And I had a notary because I worked for the owners of the firm, so I was responsible for their practice. If they needed a notary, I didn't have time to run around the office and see what notary was here if the notary wasn't here. Mm-hmm. So I always asked them to buy my notary. They always purchase my notary. But if you don't know what you're doing and you notarize documents, and these are legal documents, even the documents that come through general notary work, loan signing documents, then it voids the document. That's why so many loan signing companies have to resend the documents back to the client, because the girl today said that they sent me the documents and told me to get a notary. She said, but this time she told them, when they said, well, we can get the notary, you can get the notary. She said, well, you send the notary, because apparently the notary I got messed it up. Mm-hmm. So you can mess up somebody's whole business transaction, or a person could mess up, somebody's whole business transaction if the document is not notarized properly.
That's true. That's true. And it has happened, believe me. And that's why you better have errors and omission insurance in case you jack up somebody's stuff out there. I always say I would not drive a car without auto insurance. You don't stamp no paper without no errors and omissions, okay?
So speaking of that, I'm just going to add to that a little bit. Because my daughter got hit by somebody a few months ago, and they didn't have any car insurance. And then so she was smart enough to take a picture of the tag on slide, because when it came time to settle out, call the insurance company, he told his insurance company he didn't hit nobody. He wasn't driving the car because he didn't have any insurance. So he wasn't covered. So if you don't have E&O emissions, E&O insurance, you're not covered. So like Kim said, just like you wouldn't drive a car without auto insurance, you would not, be stamping documents without E&O insurance, because you're gonna be liable. You're gonna be sued. We're not gonna be sued. You're not gonna be sued. But I'm saying, just like that person didn't have auto insurance.
You don't know that. I mean, you really don't know.
I'm saying, I don't want to scare them saying that you're gonna be sued. Okay. That's what I mean by that.
Scare you, but
what I'm saying is that the insurance company ended up paying because apparently the insurance had, anyway, it was a whole mess because he was driving somebody else's car. I don't know if you guys know, you can get insurance and say you're going to be the only driver. Mm-hmm. And so you can't let anybody drive your car. But anyway, so she wasn't covered, but the insurance paid for it. So that we're saying that to say training and E&O insurance is what you need to be a notary in these notary streets.
Yes, that's true talk, y'all. So we are going to start hitting these questions. If you guys will subscribe for us, it'll be such a benefit. I'm watching Frank's comment. Yeah. All right, Alexis is going to read our comments for us tonight. Angela got Facebook. Let's do it. So are you a boss notary or work notary? All right, Alexis.
We're going to start from the top. Frank. Hello, Frank from Mobile Notary from Lower Alabama. Like she said, hit the like button and sit down. It's going to be good. Valerie Hales, good evening, everyone. Marcel Randall, good evening. We got a bunch of hellos. Yvette, Tanya, somebody from Facebook. J3 Mobile Notary, Carla, Nicole, Audrey, Kimberly, Romania. Hello, everyone. Nicoya, hello. Tanya Bruton says, Angela and Alexis, for your late night signings, do you take another person with you? Me personally, I don't really have too late of night signings, but if I did have something, yeah, I do take somebody with me.
I don't do after dark signings. Well, back up. I have done some after dark signings for the company. Other than that, I don't do any personal phone call signings. And I'll usually text Kim and my daughter to let them know when I got there and when I leave. And with company signings, for whatever reason, I feel pretty safe because, if I come missing, Kim can call the company and say she really, But I give them the address. I tell them I'm going in, and when I leave, and even the people, I'll text it in front of them, and I'll tell them, I got to text my friend and my daughter in case y'all, axe murderers or something. They all usually laugh, but,
And then plan B, Tanya, is always, if you do want to work after hours, is meet someone at a public place.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's, Panera. McDonald's is usually open late. Dunkin' Donuts is also notary friendly, I like to say. Panera, McDonald's. So something like that. Meet at a public place. Because sometimes you might end up making your most money actually after 5. you know, and depending on where you are, it gets darker sooner. So meet at a public place. And again, like Angela said, let somebody know where you are.
So I did that when I did that firearm notary one night at like 10 o'clock. I made a lot of money. But anyway, I met at the Starbucks in Kroger. So even though Starbucks was closed, Kroger's open to like midnight. So I met them in the Starbucks in Kroger.
Good tip. Good tip.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. We got DJ Yes, C-Button, hello. Another Facebook user, hello. Tamika, Jay Loved It. Danielle, hey Danielle. Pamela, Facebook user, I didn't know a company can pay for your stamp. I pay for my own everything. I don't know who that is.
Sometimes they will. Sometimes they will. It just depends.
That's
99% of the time they pay for your stuff though.
So if the company needs a notary on the regular, like law firms need notaries on the regular, and if you work there and you want to get your notary, they'll pay for it. So there are some company businesses that need notaries on the regular, they'll pay for it.
And like I worked at the bank when I had both of my other commissions and they paid for it here in Georgia and when I was in Michigan. The bank will pay for it too. And then guys, don't get caught up on my job need to pay for it because it's only normally like $50 or less. So don't not do your career because your bank, because your job won't pay for it. We're talking about being bosses, right? So I'm not sitting around saying, oh, well, my job could pay for it, but they won't, so I'm not going to get it. No, you go ahead and boss up and get your notary stamp and your commission. Okay.
And you could tell your about your job if you wanted to use it that way that you would pay for your own notary because you use it. So.
And more than likely, I'm not volunteering to do it at work for free that I know I can make my money. So, that's just me.
Well, if the company buys it, you have to notarize the client's documents for free.
That's why I'm not asking them to pay for it. I'm pretty independent like that. I'd rather own my stamp instead of them thinking they own me. That's my opinion.
And the second part of that, if you're a boss anyway, you'll let them know they don't own you.
Y'all,
I'm
a rebel, y'all, sometimes.
Don't get sassy with them people.
Angela will cost you your job, and you cannot y'all. You better listen to me. Don't tell the people you're going to be their notary, and then you don't want to, realizing you could have made $50 out there. Now they going to make you do it for free.
Look, okay, don't go do that because you can't live with me and I can't pay your bills.
You better listen to me. No, I'm just kidding. But either way, guys, the point is don't wait on them to pay for your stuff.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people, even like I'm going to do a relationship thing. As a woman, I'm not going to not go do something because I got to wait on a man to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? If it's something I want to go do, that's why I keep my name on somebody's payroll. You know what I'm saying? Or have my own money coming in. You don't have to wait for them. You can do it for yourself, right? So same thing with your job. Again, boss up. If you really want to be a notary, don't be waiting on them to pay for it. Okay, next.
All right, Lona says, hello, everyone. DJS says, boss over here. Even when I was a work notary, I held their feet to the fire. I came in with mine. They paid for renewal.
I know she did, too.
DJS, that's my girl.
She don't be playing, y'all. She running them New York streets. Running New York.
That's my girl.
All right.
Next time I come to New York, I'm going to look you up.
Ramonia Barnes says, I had my stamp before I started working for an individual and got fired because he thought I should not charge him because I worked for him.
That's a boss.
Wow.
That was a boss move.
That was a boss move, girl. As long as you was ready for that.
I probably wouldn't charge my boss, though.
I probably wouldn't charge the boss.
But that was a boss move.
But hey, that was a boss like move. It. Who said that?
I know I said that was a boss move, but the boss didn't like it. Oh, Ramonia did.
C Button 1987 says hello everyone. DJS says fire OMG.
Yeah. Don't get fired now.
Right.
Wait. We want y'all to boss up, but we don't want y'all getting fired out there, okay?
Right. So look, I'm talking a lot of trash, you guys, but I never charged anybody who came in the office or any boss or any secretary in the office for a notary. Anybody that worked for the company, I never charged them for a notary.
Let the record reflect.
But outside, I was bossing up.
Bossing. Okay.
All right. Charlene Mason says, hello, everyone. What do we have to do to perform wedding ceremonies?
One of two ways, really quick. So you can either, some states will allow you to do it as a notary, but most states require that you have some kind of religious thing. So like if you're not a minister, some kind of certificate, then you can easily get one at like I think it's called the Life Ministry School. Somebody will put it in the chat for you because someone else has done it, I'm sure. But I'm not one, so I can't tell you. But it's a little church. It's not even a real church. It's like an online thing. They give you a degree and you can actually marry people. So either you can do it in your role as a notary or you have to get that certificate. Can somebody put it in the chat?
My services to make people ministers to the witness. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh Lord, next.
Sylvia Rios Estrada says, I'm here. Hi, ladies. Hello. Hi, Audrey Smitherman says, I try to be very careful on my job because they think you're not supposed to ask them questions about what am I signing.
Yes, Audrey is so right. So, there's a fine line. It's how you do it, even if you are a boss notary on the outside, you still are an employee on the inside, right? So we have to make sure we always talk with respect to the people, but let them know you mean what you said and you said what you meant, right?
And honor your notary commission laws too.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to balance all of that out.
You do. It's a fine line. That's why I'm not volunteering to do it for free. Now, if they ask me to do it, I'm going to go get it. But if not, I ain't taking on all that extra stress. Not for somebody else. I do it for my business, And I did it as a work notary, but that's before I knew, the realities of the world. Lexis.
All right. Danielle says, does anyone know why YouTube is telling me to add a channel in order to comment on the computer?
I'm going to answer that for Danielle, y'all. I'm not going to call her all the way out, but she probably know what she's doing, but she's thinking too much like she was in that apostille class this weekend and was bouncing it out the park.
Tell me about that.
I'm going to put it in the Facebook group, Danielle. She probably know what she's doing. She just thinking too much.
Don't overthink it. It's not that complicated.
I got some just Facebook comments, Alexis.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, good evening. Marie Francis says this is her first time here.
Welcome.
So welcome, Marie France. She said she paid you. You got that. Angela Phillips says hi. Donna says Kim laughing because Kim said Facebook notary.
That's next week, y'all. We're gonna talk about it.
And Kelly Savels is here. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly. We had a strategy call today, actually. Yep. Okay, next.
Welcome. Right. Danielle says, Texas too, you have to turn in your journal if you give up your commission.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
McFall Notary World. Hey, ladies. Hello.
Hey,
Nata Jean.
Danielle says she should contact the SOS or Notary Commission to find out.
Yeah. You always contact them.
Ramonia Barnes says a boss notary.
Yes, in the house.
Cassandra Creech. Mm-hmm. Yes, certain government agencies have those requirements.
Yeah. So we always defer to what your state says and what your company says, okay?
Yep. Terry, the Notary Public NSA, outside of work hours, employee notaries public are authorized to use their stamp in California.
Okay, cool.
Deborah Jones says hello to the bosses of Notary Educators LLC and the rest of our notaries from Deborah in Cedar Hill, Texas.
Hi, Deborah. I did a coaching call with Deborah the other day.
Yes, welcome.
Lavester Hughes says, so do you tell them up front that you are charging for providing witness?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
We always tell up front. You don't get out there and say, it's going to be another 25 or 50 for this. You and your client should be in agreement prior to you leaving your home, actually. Okay. Yep. And we do go over all of that in our training. This might be a good time to talk about our upcoming events right quick.
Yeah.
I'll go first and then you guys can feel free to add to it. So we guys are having what's called a Sip and Gems meet and greet. It's a virtual event and it does come with a price. It's $9.99. But at this virtual meet and greet, we are going to chat and drink and talk about our businesses, share ideas, get tips and tricks, network, meet people. It's going to be face-to-face. So it's not something we can do here on YouTube because you can only chat, right? We can only bring up a couple people at a time. But the meet and greet is going to be amazing. You can put your cameras on. We can see who everybody is. We're not just inviting YouTube. We're inviting everybody. So you're going to meet notaries from all over the 50 states, hopefully, okay? So this is going down on October
7th.
October 7th, which is a Friday night. Be there, be square at 8:00 p.m. Eastern. We did a little bit later for our people on the West Coast so they can join us too, okay? So you can start signing up tonight, and that again is called the Sip and Gems live meet and greet going down next month, okay? $9.99. So you're gonna walk away with a whole lot more than $9.99 worth of knowledge, okay?
And bring your problems that you're having with your business, some things that you need to, do to your business to make it better, questions. We'll be throwing you some gems about just things that you may not know that you need to know regarding different aspects of the business.
Yes, and also bring your wins too. What's winning in your business, so you can share that with other people, and they may be able to take it to their neck of the woods and start implementing that. Also, for our Saturday Notary Basics class coming up this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, I have 3 slots available for that. And then on Sunday for the long signing class, we have 3 slots for that available. So you can check all of that out at Notary Educators LLC. That's where you sign up for the Sip and Gems. Everything is at Notary Educators LLC. And then our October calendar is also out. So we do have the apostille class for October out and all of our other classes for October, okay? And just really quick, if you have not seen my newest book, Specialty General Notary Work, don't be scared. It's not that complicated. Everything is over at the website, okay? With a very good description of what you would be buying and getting into, okay? So we'll move on. Unless Alexis and Angela have something to add to that, we'll get back to the questions when they're ready.
Yeah, and we have the online courses as well, 50% off. Use code STAMP.
Yep.
Thank you. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all covered.
Yes.
All right. Let's get back into it. So we have Terry, the Notary Public, NSA. I'm definitely a boss notary.
Yay.
McFall Notary World LLC. I have a client that I am doing 11 apostilles. I really lowballed myself. I was told I should have charged $3,000, just birth certificates and marriage certificate.
I can comment on that.
Yes.
So I would not have charged $3,000. I actually had a client like that. It's like beginning of the year maybe, and he has a business, and he has a company overseas. And so when I talked to him, he just said he had a couple of apostilles, 2 apostilles, three. I told him how much it would cost. When I got there, he had like 10 because he had Secretary of State documents, he had an electric bill, he had his passport, he had all these documents. Mm-hmm. So it was like $2,000 worth of apostille. I didn't charge him $2,000, and the reason why I didn't even charge him $1,000, because the reason I did not is because I was saying in my head, okay, he has a business overseas and a business here, and I knew he had a little money because I saw the car he was driving, and he got all these stuff going on. So I gave him a huge discount. It was worth me doing the apostilles, and it ended up, it's a good relationship because he bought a house in Florida on the beach. He called. Who did he call to do to notary? He told the company in Florida, don't worry about the notary. I have a notary. He had something else. Who did he call? He just calls me now. Angela, when can you be here? When you need? So he's called me like 5 or 6 times since then to do notary work for him. So wow, maybe you didn't well, you probably did if you only charged $300, but
no, $3,000. They wanted her to charge.
She said she should have charged $3,000, but she only charged. I don't know if she put out.
She
didn't say how much.
Yeah, but anyway, Natty Jean, I didn't feel bad about charging him. I worked it out with him because I did tell him how much it was, and I said, but I can work something out with you, and I'm his notary now. So,
and I don't think I could fix my lips to tell a client something is $3,000. I don't even think I can make my lips tell somebody that. If it was worth $3,000, and if you made $1,000, I mean, because let's be honest, now
I don't think I would even do that. I wouldn't even do that personally. Yeah, that's me personally.
After a certain amount of documents, because I know the process and I know how simple it is. I'm taking them all to the same place and stuff like that. I wouldn't even feel comfortable You know what I mean?
That's
Right.
what I was
I wouldn't
ready
even
to
feel
say.
comfortable.
That's just me.
What I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's not difficult. It's the same process, and if you know, it's a couple dollars each. For the apostille. It's not like I'm coming out of pocket where I can really, like you said, fix from out to say $3,000.
Yeah, I think Alexis explained it perfectly. I mean, because if you know the process, I mean, now if it's something where I'm not going to do anything where I'm going to take a loss for him,
right?
Like if it's $20 per document, I'm going to make sure I pass that fee on to him. Mm-hmm. But after a certain point, I mean, you've made your money.
If I don't have to do a lot of background research and call people and all of that stuff, like you said, like you're going to the same place, I don't even think I could sleep personally if I did that. Yes, I'm saying it. Yes, I'm saying it.
That's Angela saying it.
I would never do that.
Let the record reflect that Angela said she might lose sleep over some money, y'all. If she collected it.
And you don't even have to notarize birth certificates and marriage certificates.
Yeah. So yeah.
So that don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
No. I think you did a very boss move.
All right. Terry, the Notary Public NSA says, "Hi, Kimmi."
Hey. Maybe we'll skip some of the hello so we can get some of the make sure we get some of the questions. So hello to everybody. We appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Terry, the Notary Public says, "Yep, the Study Your State Notary Primer Handbook. That's a lot of details we must know."
Yep.
McFall was replying to Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
McFall said, "I really lowballed myself. I'm so mad, but it was a learning experience. I don't think you did. Depending on what you charge.
Depending on what you charge.
Depending on what you charged. Yeah." Rondell Johnson says, "Can you give us a list of what services outside of the norm to charge for? I'm a rookie, so how can you get your husband to act as a witness?"
So, really quickly, Rondell, you can get anybody over 18 that's not related to the signing to be a witness. You just need to let them know up front. Any other services, you can charge print fee, scan back fee if the client needs you to scan back sometimes. Mm-hmm. I don't usually charge for all that because I'm big on not nickel and diamond my clients. Print. It's a lot of different things. Actually, because of your question, I'm going to do a video.
I've had that question for a couple lawyers.
Oh, that's another one too. I've had
Alexis?
A courier fee. I charged them because they wanted me to get something they wanted me to print it off, take it to their client, have it signed, and then actually mail it off via whatever, UPS, FedEx, whatever they told me. So that was a pretty nice chunk of change.
I would have charged that for lawyers too, because they did not complain about it, did they? Mm-hmm. You know why? Because they do that. They charge for print, they charge for they charge for everything, so they're not going to complain about it.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Good question. Very good. Okay, next.
All right. Terry, the Notary Public says, "I would study the Notary Public Code of Professional Responsibility and the Notary Signing Agent Code of Conduct as well." Yes.
That's the NNA stuff.
For the exam. Deborah Jones says, "When will I get confirmation for a course I signed up for right after our talk last Friday? Thanks."
The documents will go out on Thursday, between Thursday and Friday. Mm-hmm.
All right. McFall Notary World, I hear Kimmi in my head saying you live in California.
That's right.
Yes, Nata Jean. I always push back on you. I'm like, you live in California.
We got some people talking about their boss notary.
Yes.
Violet, the notary. "I'm with you, Kimmi. Independent pay for my own." JC Majestic Journey. "I have been getting some jobs from people that had went to the UPS, and the UPS had attitudes and didn't want to do it, so I got the work."
Yep.
And locally around me, I have 2 UPSs by me. Both of them have a sign saying they don't have a notary, so y'all already know what I did.
Left them cards.
Yes. Terry, the Notary Public says, "Paying the fees for my notary commission was no-brainer for me." McFall, "I have a job tomorrow with 10 signatures and another for 30 signatures. They want to pay me a flat rate of $500. Is it worth it? I am in Cali. This is for an attorney."
So, Nata Jean.
Signatures and another. That's 40.
California is what, $15 a signature?
Yep.
And a travel fee?
No, that's not worth it.
But are they are they right down the street from you?
Let me tell you why I said no. Let me tell you why. Because in California, you get $15 per signature. You already at $600 if you just stand on your. Oh, in California, and if you want to give them a deal, sure, of course, that's fine. But that sounds to me more like 700.
I was about to say I would counter offer them.
Yeah. Right, how far do you have to travel?
I would counter offer, but you still have to think about if they're asking you to do that, they're gonna need your service in the future. I wouldn't cheat myself out of it. Mm-hmm. And you know how much the cost of living in California. Mm-hmm. So I would sit down and think about it and counter offer, with your travel fee and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe what I would do. In the middle.
Yeah, travel.
Yeah.
How many signers? You still do your screening questions. You don't just show up because he told you that. It might be 4 to 5 signers per document. You could be there for 10 hours.
And I was about to say, you got to think about the time it's going to take you too.
Yeah. So honestly, I got a feeling, again, you're in Cali, you probably leaning more toward that $700 mark. And I don't even know everything, but okay. Maybe not. We want to build relationships.
Right.
So he basically wants to pay you without paying you a travel fee.
That still ain't enough.
But what I'm saying is that because basically, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta do that's a business decision. It's a business decision at the end of the day. Again, like you say, you want to look at the travel, you want to look at the relationship, you want to look at all of it.
And the time is going to take you to do that too.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, might get there, girl. He got 4 or 5 signers. It might be power of attorney for the commercial this and the commercial that. I mean, you might be sitting there for 10 hours.
And Nata Jean, they used to negotiating, so don't be afraid to negotiate with those attorneys. When you negotiate with them, I'm just going to give you a tip. When you negotiate with them, the way I would do it, I would say, well, for a job like this is what my normal price is. I wouldn't let them determine what they're going to pay me.
Right.
I would say this is what my normal price would be for a job like this. After I ask all the screening questions, how many people and all of that, what's the name of the document? And then I would say, but I'm going to give you a discount and this is what my discount price is. So I would let them know how much I would charge.
Yeah, because you could really be sitting there. It could be a commercial. It could be a hot mess.
And remember too, Nata Jean, I did a job for an attorney. You still have to look through the documents to make sure that everything is in order. Just because it's an attorney, don't not look through the documents to make sure if there are no blank spaces and all of that. When I did a job for an attorney, she was actually impressed that I actually did that. So make sure you still do your due diligence and do your work as a notary.
Right. We are not just stamping and signing. You go and still do everything, do your process. Marcel, you back with us, Alexis? Okay.
Yep.
Marcel.
Right. DJ. Oh,
my bad.
DJ should say amen and having your own. Marcel was giving us the answer to the I can't think today.
Online ministry.
Yeah, to do the wedding ceremonies, the universal life.
And Marcel just did her first wedding.
Yay, so proud of you, Marcel.
Congratulations. It was so
a beautiful story. Yes.
Now Marcel is a boss notary.
She is.
I ain't gonna say that she studied with Angela on a one-on-one.
She is a boss notary. I knew she was gonna be a boss notary when I finished.
I ain't gonna say all that, but she is one of my go-to people also in my area that I can give work to and feel pretty confident.
Because she just had to get over the fear. I'm like, girl, throw that fear out. Get you a job.
Hold on. Don't be scared.
Look, either get you go back to work or throw the fear out the window. So she threw the fear out the window.
Don't be scared.
And it was Universal Life Church, you all. I'm sorry, Universal Life Church. Miss C.C. Clark corrected it.
All right, next.
Terry, the Notary Public. It depends what you're signing for. What are notarizations? Oh, she was just replying to Nata Jean. And Miss C.C. Clark says, and American Marriage Ministries do online ordination as well.
Cool.
All right.
The gems are dropping.
Arlene Mason says, so in Georgia, we are allowed to perform weddings as a notary.
So. You have to go through that ordination thing.
Yeah, you have to get that.
Okay. But it's not a hard process, guys. If you really want to add that to your business, it's not a hard process. You don't have to convert to a religion or their religion or anything like that. It's really just a paper giving you permission to perform the ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Edward just says ELS Opulent Notary Services first time. Hello, Baltimore, Maryland.
Welcome, Baltimore in the house.
Yes, welcome, Edward.
Danielle says she's signing up.
Sign up, girl, for the sipping gems. It's gonna be nice. I'm excited. We had a nice time. We actually did a smaller version of it. If you are not in our Facebook group, you need to be in our Facebook group. That was just for Facebook. That one was.
Yeah, it was for our Facebook group.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was a smaller setting. So this one here is gonna be big. I got a feeling. So sign up though for our Facebook group, Notary Educators, because a lot of times, guys, it's quicker for us to hop on over there than sometimes on YouTube. You got to make a whole deal of it. It's a whole thing. But hop in our face, completely free. You do not have to take any of our classes or have taken any of them. Notary Educators, okay? You do have to answer all of those questions, so don't just put yes and something quick, because we will not accept you, because we're trying to watch out on the spam. And I think it's getting better with those new questions that I put.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you have to answer the questions or you will be denied. If you are denied for some reason, you feel like, dang, why are they denying me? Reach out and say, hey, I'm really trying to get in and I don't know why, because we will quickly decline if the answers are not right.
Right.
All right. Tanya Bruton says there are 6 states that allow you to perform a marriage as a notary: Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, Maine, Montana, and Nevada.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thanks for the gem, Tonya.
Yes, thank you. Danielle says sipping what?
Sipping and gems.
Sipping gems, not sipping gin. Sipping gems. We're gonna be dropping some knowledge. And if you want to drink gin while you at the sipping gem, you're in your own house and you 21, you can do what you want to do, right?
Oh my goodness.
All right, Tamika Hutcherson says, has anyone worked with the estate planning attorney serving as a witness? Or you can make $150 to $200.
I've done estate planning for an attorney, notary.
Right. I don't know that they'll pay you to be a witness for that kind of money. I was a witness for an estate thingy at a nursing home, but it did not pay $150. It was $40. And that was kind of my error, because they asked me how much, but they still wouldn't pay me $150.
No, they wouldn't pay even, and I can understand why somebody may think that, because it's a lot. I had the documents spread like all over their counter, like way long out over their counter.
Yeah,
and it
that's how much you make. Yeah, you might make the $150 to $200 as the notary.
As the notary, yeah. Then that's what I charge.
Not as a witness.
Not as a witness.
Not in the average state. Now, California might be different. I don't think they paying that for the witnesses anywhere. Unless it's a trial, like everybody, what is it, the mafia or something? They got to put you undercover or something to get you somewhere. But yeah, average witness is not making that. Mm-hmm.
All right, McFarland Notary says, I get a lot of work at Disney Studios, a lot in Burbank. I was referred to that client that needed 11 apostilles. I only charged that guy $725. I wish I would at least made $1,000.
That's fine.
Don't worry about it, girl.
That's some good money.
Yeah, it depends on the fees, in your state and everything, but
yeah, $725 sounds like some good money.
It sounds good to me. We got a few Facebook, Angela. I saw.
So Kelly says she can't wait to get her books in the mail. Mari says, hi ladies. Hi Mari.
Hey.
And Kelly said they should have at least paid per seal. Amelia Street says I always look through also. She means look through the documents.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's knock out the rest of these. Sylvester Hughes, I actually lost some money because they wanted me to print documents, but I did not have a printer, so guess I need to invest, but printers and ink are so expensive. They are, you really have to just hunt it down and look for a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Sippin' Gems, guys, if you're signing up for the Sippin' Gem event, make sure you save that email, because it has the link in it. And all you do is click it. You don't need a code or anything. Just save the link when you paid for it. Put a star by it when you get that email back, confirming your purchase. Just save that email, okay? Again, they're on sale right now as we speak. Only $9.99, and you will not regret it.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle says maybe 600 is 40 signatures, 650. So this responding to what we talked about earlier. McFall Notary. They are in the same building of my virtual address. They said they would use me again. I told them 700. They said 400. I told them I would do 5.
Okay.
And so Netta Jean, if that's what you did and you happy with it, that's all that matters. You know, you made $500. If they call you every day, a couple of days a week because they did that, you did that, and then they paying you $400 or $500, you still making money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. Marcel, it is. Marcel says, "Oh, thank you. Yes, Angela is the best."
Yeah.
It is. Danielle says, "Yes, I am ordained with both online ministries."
Okay,
cool.
That is cool. Gilmore Wanda says, "I'm working on being a boss notary."
all right, Wanda.
You can do it. Terry the Notary Public says, "I believe you mean a living will, sis at McFall." Yes, we're authorized for that. Just responding to Netta Jean. Danielle says she signed up. Yay, we'll see you
then. Yeah, we'll see you then. Yes. And when you sign up for the Sipping Gems, guys, if you can be prepared that Friday night to have your camera on, it makes such a difference.
Please.
Yeah, put your camera on so we can really, really communicate. I mean, I know some of you might be busy, but if you can put your camera on, it just really makes the experience a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
All right.
The rest of Frank. Oh, Frank, was saying, see you
Frank
later.
Said, gotta go. Bye, Frank.
Bye, Frank. Nubian, I am. Good evening from my favorite beautiful ladies. I'm here for the notary tea.
Look, I gotta read this one from Kelly with all these on the Facebook. Mari says check Facebook, make marketplace, and offer up for printers. Kelly says Sipping Gin would be the last thing I pay for at Kimmi Nunnally.
All right, Kelly. Kelly, I don't even know have you bought anything?
You did. You said you did her coaching corner with her today.
No, I did a strategy call.
Oh, strategy call. Okay.
Yeah,
you bought the books.
I was gonna say, I think she got the book too.
Kelly, we still love you. We'll still love you, Kelly.
And girl, if I was paying $9.99 for what all you gonna get on that Friday night, it's really worth more than that. This is a gift.
Because we like you guys.
Yeah, we grow businesses over here, honey. Ask some of the people how much money they have made. We grow businesses. Boss notaries and notary educators. Okay. Thank you. We appreciate all your business and support for real.
We do.
We really
love you guys because we want you to win.
We do. And we keep everything really at a minimum price over here. We really do. So we are not all driving Lamborghinis or whatever the hottest thing is. We all work. When y'all call me, I'd be like, I'm out in the streets with y'all. So
Lele, read Lele's. Is that Lele your font? Lord, Lele, your font kind of funny. She said she sent a request to join Facebook and had no idea that she could sign up without a membership.
Yeah,
no membership on Facebook.
That's what we trying to tell
you for you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We give y'all everything for free. Just about. We give you as much as we can. If we put a price to it, it's a reason why.
Kelly says it'll be worth it. She's here to learn from the Notary Boss Queens.
Yes. Come on, Kelly. Come on. All right. Well, I think that's about it, right, Alexis?
Yep.
Anything on Facebook? We done on Facebook?
Yep, we finished on Facebook. Yep.
Yes. Right. Well, on behalf of Notary Educators, guys, we are looking forward to seeing you guys in person next month, Friday, October 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm going to say good night. I am Kimmi, and we will let Alexis and Angela say good night, and then we'll see you guys soon.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't wait to see you all on the Zoom. The meeting's going to be really good. We got a lot of gems for you all. Y'all have a good week.
Yep. And thank you guys for coming to our Monday Mentors. It's always our pleasure to be here with you on Monday. We can't see you on Monday, so on the Sipping Gems, we can see you, and we had an amazing time. Was it last week?
Yes.
And it's on a Friday night, so everybody can relax, have your drink, and just, enjoy and learn more how to grow your business.
We had our pretzels. Everybody had their little snack and stuff. So, yeah. But we're going to say good night, everybody. It's been our pleasure, okay?
See you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again for listening to the Notary Life with Kimmi podcast. We would love to be a part of your notary journey. Please visit us at notaryeducatorsllc.com for all of your notary training needs. Also, please feel free to join the Notary Life with Kimmi YouTube channel, where Kimmi has over 400 videos that will help you to grow and build a successful notary business. Until the next episode, we wish you much success on your journey. Bye.